I am the true heiress of the Prime Minister's household. Yet the impostor took my place in the Emperor's bedchamber, swiftly becoming the tyrant's favored concubine. But the tyrant not only died childless but also passed away prematurely. Concubines without sons were destined to be buried alive with him. I, however, possessed a natural fertility. Marrying the frail Prince of Wu, I bore him a healthy, robust son. When the prince ascended the throne, I became Empress. But when I opened my eyes again, the fake heiress had married the King of Wu first, while I entered the palace as the tyrant's concubine. The tyrant's expression was cold and indifferent, showing no intention of favoring me. I silently complained to myself, even if His Majesty is incapable, I need to conceive a child quickly. The cold tyrant beside me suddenly lifted his head and glanced at me. Main text. I knelt outside the Emperor's bedchamber, lined up with a group of consorts awaiting the tyrant's summons. Du Haoyi, daughter of Minister Zhu of the Ministry of Revenue, had just been carried inside. Less than half an incense stick's time later, she emerged, her face streaked with tears. No one dared speculate on what offense consort Zhu had committed against His Majesty, for the tyrant's moods were unpredictable. A single displeasure could cost one their life. The daughter of the Minister of War, Consort Song, who stood before me in line, fainted from sheer terror and was swiftly dragged away by eunuchs. Outside the hall, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone held their breath, not daring to breathe. I couldn't help but curse inwardly. Truly a tyrant, even his method of favoring a concubine is so twisted, no wonder he'll die young. The doors to the bedchamber suddenly swung open. A figure clad in bright yellow strode out, surveying the surroundings. Who was speaking just now? Court ladies and eunuchs all fell to their knees in terror. The chief eunuch dared to reply, "Your Majesty, no one spoke just now." I silently scoffed. The dog emperor is young yet already hard of hearing. It was dead silent here, okay? The tyrant strode down, his towering figure silhouetted against the light before me. I stared at his slender, pale feet, unable to lift my gaze. A gaunt hand seized my chin, forcing me to look up. For the first time, I observed the tyrant Hao Minjai's features up close. Beneath his fierce, intimidating aura lay a face as fair as spring blossoms and eyes as brilliant as stars. Good heavens, this tyrant is far more handsome than that Prince of Wu. Everyone says the King of Wu is peerlessly handsome, but clearly the tyrant is the most beautiful man. Hao Minjai stared silently at my tightly closed lips, then suddenly smiled. "Whose daughter are you?" Though unsure what had caught the tyrant's eye, I answered obediently, "This servant is Gu Xiaozhao, daughter of the Chancellor." Hao Minjai pondered for a moment before declaring, "You shall accompany this emperor inside. You will remain to attend to him tonight." Watching the tyrant's departing figure, I couldn't help but feel puzzled. I'd heard that in my previous life, the fake heiress Gu Wanning had to sing and dance to win the tyrant's favor. This time around, I hadn't even had a chance to put on a show yet. Or perhaps the tyrant's target was always the daughter of my worthless father, the Chancellor Gu. Attendants bathed me in rose petals within the emperor's side chamber. Thoughts of the night ahead stirred a faint flicker of anticipation within me. The short-lived tyrant has a handsome face. Wonder how his figure compares. If it's decent, I won't be at a disadvantage. A sound came from the doorway. Hao Minjai, clad in moon-white nightclothes embroidered with a hidden dragon pattern, was now staring at me unblinkingly. Panicked, I snatched a bathrobe nearby, barely covering my exposed skin, then bowed respectfully. Long live the emperor. But inside, my mind was screaming wildly. The nightgown tyrant, gotta admit, white suits him way better than yellow. Just wait till I get to strip him down and see what's underneath. Hao Minjai cleared his throat, calmly bypassing me, and sat down at the small window bench to read. After washing myself clean and changing into a cool nightgown, I followed him step by step, sweetly suggesting, "Your Majesty, a moment of spring night is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. Let this concubine serve you to rest." Hao Minjai didn't even lift his eyes. "You may sleep first." Sigh, the tyrant truly lacks in that department. Otherwise, How could he remain unmoved with such a fragrant beauty before him? Should I suggest having the Imperial Medical Bureau send a flask of passion wine? But might that wound his pride? Xiao Minjai lifted his head and fixed me with a deep gaze, seeming to hold back words. Since you're not sleepy, then swat mosquitoes for me. My eyes widened. Aren't there incense burners in the palace? Xiao Minjai scoffed coldly. I dislike the scent of incense. Your movements, however, are far more fragrant. That dog emperor is deliberately tormenting me. Xiao Minjai read all night while I swatted mosquitoes all night. By dawn, I escorted the tyrant to court with dark circles under my eyes. Xiao Minjai actually seemed in a good mood. Damn it, can you blame me for being too eager last night? After all, concubines without children after 3 years are buried alive with their masters. I was the long-lost true heiress of the Chancellor's household, exiled for over a decade. Yet upon my return, the fake heiress had already become the apple of my parents' eyes. I became a thorn in the side of everyone in the Chancellor's residence. Gu Wanning received only the finest of everything, while I struggled to survive in the mansion like a servant, enduring her constant bullying. When the imperial decree summoned me to the palace in my previous life, everyone assumed I was unfit for the court. They hastily married me off to Prince Wu Hao Mincanodarius for his frail healthess, a good luck charm. Meanwhile, Gu Wanning usurped my identity as the true heiress to enter the palace as the esteemed imperial consort. Had imperial offspring not been so scarce, and tyrants die childless and short-lived, and I bore the imperial family's only heir, that sickly Prince Wu truly couldn't ascend the throne. Alas, Prince Wu proved no better husband. He crowned me Empress only to squeeze every last drop of fertility from me, ultimately sending me to heaven with a cup of poison. This lifetime, Gu Wanning married Prince Wu first, hoping to become Empress and rule the realm through him. Pure delusion. As long as I swiftly bear Xiao Minjai's dragon seed, once he dies, I shall become Empress Dowager. The King of Wu will never seize the throne. Imperial protocol dictates that daughters of first-rank officials entering the palace as consorts may return home to visit their families after their first night with the emperor. Though I truly spent the night swatting mosquitoes. To outsiders, the Gu family's daughter entered the palace to receive supreme favor. The emperor kept me alone for 7 consecutive nights swatting mosquitoes. Thus, I too could return to the Chancellor's residence for a family visit. I deliberately inquired about Gu Wanning's homecoming date and chose the exact same day. What I hadn't anticipated was how Minjai unexpectedly insisting on accompanying me. The Gu family raised a daughter like Youth's emperor naturally must see what secrets lie behind such cultivation. I couldn't fathom what the tyrant was rambling about, but seeing the Gu family members kneeling before me filled me with delight. Seems marrying a tyrant has its perks. Now all you who once looked down on me must obediently submit at my feet. For some reason, Xiao Minjai delayed calling them to rise, since he didn't order them to stand. I was happy to let it be and offered no reminder. Suddenly, Gu Wanning, kneeling among the crowd, rolled her eyes and fainted. I couldn't help but inwardly groan, faking fainting again. Gu Wanning always used this trick to make her own parents despise her. I wonder if the tyrant will dislike me for it too. Oh well, maybe I should plead for her. Your Majesty, perhaps. Xiao Minjai cut me off, instructing, the rest may rise. Since the princess consort of Wu is frail, let her bask in the sun a while longer. She may return indoors when she awakens. I nearly clapped inwardly. You call this a tyrant? There's never been a more enlightened ruler. Xiao Minjai's lips curved into a faint smile. Only then did Gu Wanning slowly stir awake. Her gaze fixed on me, her face twisted with envy. This humble wife has behaved improperly. Seeing my elder sister so high and mighty, yet lacking even a shred of the affection she showed in our family home, I couldn't help but feel distressed. Father the Chancellor dared not challenge the tyrant, so he directed his barbs at me instead. Now that she's gained favor, she acts so haughty, not a shred of sisterly affection remains. How could such a woman ever be worthy of the royal family? Good for nothing father, you abandoned me at birth, your heart wandering the streets, back in the manor, you never treated me like family, and now you dare to slander me before the tyrant. Glancing at Hao Minjai, he mused thoughtfully, the chancellor speaks with reason. How could the princess consort of Wu, who shows no respect to her elder sister, be worthy of the prince of Wu? She shall be punished by copying the admonitions for women and the virtues of women 800 times. She is not permitted to leave her quarters until the task is completed. All eyes turned in astonishment toward the tyrant. Gu Wanning's eyes burned red with fury, yet she could only accept the decree and express her gratitude. Before leaving, Gu Wanning whispered in my ear, Consort Shao, you may be in favor now. But I know the emperor hasn't touched you, has he? His apparent favor is merely fear of my father. I'm different if Prince Wu is useless now, his blessings lie ahead. I watched Gu Wanning's self-important foolishness with a cold gaze. It seemed my suspicions were correct. She too had been reborn. My own situation couldn't help but make me anxious. Even if the frail Prince of Wu bore no children in this life, once the tyrant died, wouldn't I still have to be buried alive without offspring? On the carriage ride back to the palace, I called for a stop at an apothecary and returned clutching a small porcelain vial. The most potent aphrodisiac, these say even the weakest man can last a while with it. Tonight, I must have the tyrant. Hao Minjai's hand paused mid-page turn. Otherwise, when the Prince of Wu ascends the throne in 3 years, the pitiful tyrant will die without even a child to show for it. Hao Minjai's face turned deathly pale. He observed each person's reaction before speaking slowly. Your Majesty, are you feeling unwell? Oh no, is the tyrant losing his strength? I haven't even had a chance to bear his child. Hao Minjai gritted his teeth, snatched the porcelain vial from my hand, and hurled it out the carriage window. Tonight, I shall prove to you whether I am capable or not. That night, there were no mosquitoes to swat, nor other consorts lining up. After calling for water 3 times, my voice grew faint, barely louder than a mosquito's buzz. It seemed the tyrant was indeed capable. But why did he never favor his consorts? Why did he have no imperial heir during his reign? Early the next morning, the tyrant went to court while the Empress Dowager summoned me to Signing Palace. As I approached the door, I heard Gu Wanning and Prince Wu laughing heartily inside. Your frequent visits bring joy to this old heart. Prince Wu is most considerate, more like a son to me than the emperor himself. The merriment abruptly ceased when I entered. Seated at the head of the room, the Empress Dowager shot me a sidelong glance before ordering a bowl of contraceptive soup to be brought. The emperor is consumed by state affairs. As a consort, you must not distract him with your wiles. I hear you kept him occupied all night. This is unacceptable. Drink this soup at once. The emperor is not yet suited to bear children. I was utterly stunned. In my previous life, I rarely entered the palace. Each time I met the Empress Dowager, I only perceived her as a formidable old lady. I never imagined it was she who refused to allow the tyrant to have children. Gu Wanning rose and carried the bowl of medicine to me. Sister, the Empress Dowager means well. Just drink it. After all, in her heart, only the Prince of Wu's child is her true grandson. She just rewarded me with a whole batch of tonics to regulate my body and conceive sooner. I stared coldly at Gu Wanning's hand holding the medicine, and she stared back at me, equally unyielding. This lifetime, the young crown prince must be mine. Drink this contraceptive potion obediently. Perhaps after the emperor passes, I might intercede and grant you a swift death. I sneered coldly, flicking my wrist to knock the bowl over. The scalding liquid splashed Gu Wanning from head to toe. The Empress Dowager slammed her hand on the table in fury. How dare you? Wanning kindly brought you medicine, and you dare harm her? You refuse the wine offered and insist on the punishment wine. Servants, strike her belly, beat her until blood flows. Several burly wet nurses rushed forward to restrain me. Suddenly, a eunuch announced, His Majesty has arrived. Though I'd always cursed him as a tyrant, in this moment he became my lifeline. But the Empress Dowager ordered my mouth covered and spoke first. Your Majesty, This concubine has shown me disrespect and insulted me. She must be punished severely to uphold the standards of the harem. The old witch accuses first. It's clear you wanted to abort the tyrant's child. I just don't understand both the Empress Dowager's sons. Yet she favors Prince Wu so blatantly, as if the tyrant wasn't her own flesh and blood. Seems the tyrant's mood swings stem from his mother's neglect. Poor thing, after he died suddenly in his past life, the Empress Dowager didn't shed a single tear. She happily crowned Prince Wu as the new emperor. I almost feel sorry for the tyrant now. As Hao Minjai's face darkened, the Empress Dowager couldn't suppress her amusement. Your Majesty, why not send this consort to the Ministry of Punishment as a lowly slave? It would set an example for the other consorts. Hao Minjai sneered coldly. Mother truly understands her son. Seeing the tyrant seemingly agree with the Empress Dowager, Prince Wu chimed in. His Majesty has always been filial. Such a disrespectful woman deserves to be dragged off and turned into a human pig to vent our anger. Gu Wanning clapped her hands in delight beside them, grinning from ear to ear. But Consort Hao cannot be touched. She already carries my child. Not only those present froze, but I froze too. But last night was our first time. How could she be pregnant so quickly? Hao Minjai glanced at me without betraying his emotions. I couldn't tell if it was my imagination, but his gaze seemed tinged with contempt. The Empress Dowager's face darkened. Didn't you consummate the marriage last night? Has the emperor chosen to deceive this old woman to favor that lowly woman? Hao Minjai shook his head. Xiao Hao and I have long been deeply in love. We consummated our union the very day she entered the palace. This tyrant sure is a skilled liar, not a hair worse than any of the concubines. But he lied to save me, so he doesn't seem so bad after all. Hao Minjai shot a glare at the matron restraining me, who immediately released me in fright. I pulled the cloth stuffed in my mouth and threw myself into Hao Minjai's embrace. Your Majesty. Wah wah. Truth be told, the tyrant looked rather charming just now. I'm already reluctant to see him die violently in 3 years. Hao Minjai first offered a faint smile, then his expression darkened. He turned to face the Prince of Wu. The Prince of Wu seems to have plenty of free time lately. In future, refrain from constantly bringing the Princess Consort of Wu to gossip before the Empress Dowager. Facing the formidable Hao Minjai, the frail Prince of Wu instinctively felt a notch below. He stammered, unable to reply, while the Empress Dowager beside him erupted in anger. What manner of speech is this from the emperor? This old woman favors Chenner and his wife. What harm is there in summoning them to the palace to keep me company? Hao Minjai sneered coldly. Next time, mother, if you cease troubling Hao Zhao, the prince and princess of Wu may converse as long as they wish. Xiao Zhao has merited credit for bearing the imperial heir. I decree her promotion to imperial consort Hao Zhao. Henceforth, she is exempt from all formal greetings. Gu Wanning, standing behind the Prince of Wu, spoke as if by chance. Sister's pregnancy came suddenly. Has a court physician examined her? I hope there's been no mistake. The Empress Dowager looked as if suddenly reminded, her gaze toward my belly flashing with venom. Indeed, summon the imperial physicians. This Empress Dowager demands to verify whether Consort Hao truly carries the imperial heir. Hao Minjai shielded me behind him. Only physician's son may examine Hao Hao's pregnancy. Should any mishap occur from others' scrutiny, who would bear the responsibility? The Empress Dowager was momentarily speechless at Hao Minjai's twisted logic. After all, who in the palace would dare pull the emperor aside to examine the consort's belly? That old hag is furious, serves her right for favoring her youngest son while treating her eldest like trash. Who'd have thought the tyrant and I share such a twisted fate? Both of us have families that play favorites. Seeing the emperor defend me so fiercely, Gu Wanning's expression darkened further. As Hao Minjai pulled me away, he glanced back at Gu Wanning. I hear the princess consort of Wu is merely an adopted daughter of the chancellor's household? An adopted daughter should act like one. For repeatedly stirring trouble for my elder sister, 20 lashes across the face. I'll have the imperial clan change your identity jade token back to adopted daughter and proclaim it to the realm. Gu Wanning collapsed to the floor, and the Prince of Wu's expression darkened as well. Among the imperial clan, status and lineage were paramount. Gu Wanning had always presented herself as the daughter of the Chancellor's household, but in truth, she was merely an illegitimate child born to a servant. Changing her jade token would bring shame upon the entire Prince of Wu's household. Returning to the Emperor's bedchamber, I couldn't help but feel anxious. I could only speak honestly. Your Majesty, truly, there is no child within this servant. Hao Minjai personally drew back the bed curtains, his gaze turning strange as he looked at me. Then we must seize the moment. Before I could fully process the meaning behind Hao Minjai's words, the world spun as I was swept onto the imperial bed. Looks like I'll need to buy some ineffective medicine for the tyrant. How can I endure this if it continues? Hao Minjai's face darkened, followed by an even more violent storm. The entire harem knew I was pregnant, and all my food was tested for poison by the Imperial Medical Bureau before consumption. But that day, after taking the pregnancy-preserving medicine delivered by the Bureau, I suddenly suffered unbearable abdominal pain. The Empress Dowager, accompanied by Gu Wanning, rushed into my bedchamber just in time. You audacious consort Hao, faking pregnancy to disrupt court affairs. I have decided to select the heir from among the imperial clan to stabilize the court. Startled, I couldn't help but ask, the Emperor is in the prime of his life. Even if I cannot conceive, he will eventually have his own biological heir. Why choose from the imperial clan? The Empress Dowager sneered coldly. Whether the Emperor can father children, I know better than you. Guards, arrest consort Shao. Could it be the Empress Dowager drugged the tyrant with an infertility potion? Is that why he's never fathered his own child? Stop! Mother, I've told you consort Shao is pregnant, she must not be disturbed. Hao Minjai arrived just in time once more. The Empress Dowager sneered coldly. Even if she truly was, she's miscarried after drinking the abortion potion. Emperor, for the sake of the Empire's stability, I've already chosen your heir. Select a date to proclaim him crown prince and calm the people's hearts. Prince Wu of Wu entered carrying a 2-year-old child, followed by a group of ministers waiting outside the hall. Your Imperial Majesty, this is the grandson of the Prince of Reborn chosen by Mother. His parents died young, making him perfectly suited to be adopted under your name. What a poisonous scheme from this mother and son, adopting someone else's infant to be Emperor. Will the Empire still fall into their hands in the future? So even if I give birth to a dragon son, he'd face the same fate. A tyrant is better off not dying. Hao Minjai appeared to smile with satisfaction. Suddenly, another thought struck me. If I must die, it must be after my imperial son grows up and can rule personally, then I'll simply become Empress Dowager. Hao Minjai's expression instantly darkened. Very well. Mother, Prince Wu, are you both so certain the dragon child in consort Hao's womb is lost? Summon Physician Sun to the palace immediately, check consort Hao's pulse. Physician Sun arrived swiftly. After taking my pulse, his expression remained calm. Your Majesty, the consort's pregnancy is stable. The Empress Dowager and Gu Wanning exchanged glances, both seeing shock in each other's eyes. Impossible, Physician Sun, dare you falsify this? I couldn't help but inwardly scoff. Thanks to the tyrant and my relentless efforts, I'm naturally fertile and conceived long ago, okay? The miscarriage potion was a setup orchestrated by the tyrant and me. Without pretending to drink poison, how would the traitor who laced it surface? And now, all those harboring disloyal hearts are being exposed one by one. The Empress Dowager muttered, how could you bear offspring, when you were young? I clearly. Her words trailed off abruptly. I sighed inwardly. Ah, so the Empress Dowager must have been poisoning the tyrant since childhood. Thankfully, my naturally fertile constitution allows me to bear children even with a man of weak yang energy. The Empress Dowager raged that Physician Sun had forged the results, refusing to believe it. Hao Minjai sneered coldly. Attendants, Bring in the Grand Princess, she shall verify consort Hao's identity. The Grand Princess was Hao Minjai's great-aunt, the late emperor's maternal aunt. She had never married, cherished the imperial clan's offspring, and commanded great respect among the royal family. The Grand Princess entered, gave the Empress Dowager a faint glance, then extended her hand to me. My dear child, you've suffered enough. Come with me to the inner chambers. With the Grand Princess's confirmation, no one in the court dared to question it further. As she departed, the Grand Princess shot the Empress Dowager a withering glare. This imperial house belongs to the Hao clan, not yours, the Wang family. The Empress Dowager paled, daring not utter another word. Hao Minjai gazed tenderly at my belly, as if beholding some rare treasure. I hereby decree, upon the birth of Consort Hao's child, he shall be proclaimed Crown Prince. Consort Hao shall be elevated to Empress. The grandson of the Prince of Ryong shall be returned to his family. If the Prince of Wu desires to become the retired emperor, why does he not produce an heir himself? Is his consort incapable? As for the officials who followed the Prince of Wu in today's Chaosuo pays your salaries. All involved in today's affairs shall be stripped of their official robes and imprisoned in the heavenly prison pending trial. As for Prince Wu and his consort, who stirred up trouble and misled the Empress Dowager, each shall receive 20 lashes and reflect on their misdeeds at the Prince of Wu's residence. Prince Wu glanced at Gu Wanning, a flicker of resentment in his eyes. Hao Minjai's secret guards stationed at the Prince of Wu's residence reported back. After returning home, the prince summoned several concubines to his bedchamber, forcing the princess consort to kneel at the door. Yet, none of them conceived. Hao Minjai smiled, his gaze growing tender as he turned to look at me. Xiaozhao, with you by my side, I am truly fortunate. That morning before attending the early court session, Hao Minjai saw me sleeping soundly and instructed the palace attendants not to wake me. I rolled over comfortably, wrapping my arms around something soft and warm. Opening my eyes, I found it was none other than the Prince of Wu. Seeing me awake, he swiftly covered my mouth. Don't cry out, if you do, your reputation will be ruined. I stared coldly at this husband from my past life, now gazing at me with greedy eyes, yet my heart remained utterly still. The King of Wu was timid by nature, always hiding behind the Empress Dowager and Gu Wanning. He didn't dare harm me now. We're both daughters of the Gu family. Why can you bear my brother's child, yet Wanning cannot bear mine? It must be because Gu Wanning's bloodline is too lowly. Xiaozhao, you should marry me. Bear me sons, and through our children, we'll rise to Poeri as emperor, you as empress. Wouldn't that be splendid? The Prince of Wu's twisted logic left me stunned. Could it be that Gu Wanning could conceive with a normal man? And the real problem lies with you, Prince of Wu? I sneered coldly. Of course not. Once I bear the emperor's child, I'll become empress. Why would I be your empress? Prince Wu's smile turned sinister. I'll tell you a secret. The Empress Dowager has been poisoning the palace consorts. My brother won't live long. Once he dies, are you really going to mourn his posthumous child? I know you dislike Wanning. If you agree to betray His Majesty and join me, I'll have that slut killed, just you. I rolled my eyes dramatically. You toad should look in the mirror. I must be blind to have ever considered you. As he spoke, Prince Wu lunged toward me with improper intentions. Struggling fiercely, my nightgown gradually came loose. When Hao Minjai pushed open the door, this was the scene he witnessed. The Prince of Wu was subdued, while I lay disheveled upon the bed. Seeing Hao Minjai, the Prince of Wu laughed instead of angered. Your Majesty, Xiaozhao is my woman. The child within her is mine. What does it matter that you are the emperor? You still wear a crown of green. Xiaozhao only submitted to you for my sake. Oh no, this consumptive bastard, the dead King of Wu, dared to touch me. Hao Minjai should be able to tell I'm innocent, right? As Hao Minjai's face darkened, my heart sank to the bottom. Isn't it that hard to tell? The King of Wu is so ugliwi, would I abandon a swan to nibble on a toad? Hao Minjai suddenly burst into laughter. Guards, take her away. I clutched his arm desperately. Your Majesty, Please hear me out, I only have eyes for you. Oh no! Oh no! Xiaominjai. You can't possibly fall for such an obvious ploy to drive a wedge between us. Hao Minjai watched me clinging to his arm, a faint smile curving his lips. What are you all standing around for? Prince Wu Hao Minkin trespassed into the inner palace, attempted to harm the imperial heir, and plotted to seize the princely title. He is hereby stripped of his rank, demoted to commoner status, confined to his mansion, and forbidden to leave without summons. Prince Wu's eyes brimmed with disbelief. Xiaozhao, save me. Save your ass, go die already. Hao Minjai suddenly pinched my puffed out cheek. The imperial consort looks rather charming when she's angry. I swatted his hand away. There's something I must tell you. You might be dying soon. In my previous life, as Hao Minjai lay dying, the Prince of Wu ascended the throne and personally enumerated his 10 major crimes, cementing Hao Minjai's reputation as a tyrant in the annals of history. But after my rebirth, I discovered that under Hao Minjai's rule, governance was strict and decisive, and he cherished his people like his own children. His only flaw was his ruthless treatment of the imperial consorts. But given the Empress Dowager's attitude, how could he dare favor any consort? Zhu Haoyi and Song Jieyu, who were carried away last time, were both kept well within the palace and unharmed. Therefore, I hope Hao Minjai survives. Hao Minjai's expression remained unchanged. Thinking he didn't believe me, I added, earlier, Prince Wu said your days are numbered. Given the Empress Dowager's behavior, it's clear she and her son plan to poison you. This explanation should convince Hao Minjai, right? I can't exactly say I'm reincarnated and saw the future. Hao Minjai nodded. I believe you. I felt a twinge of doubt. He believed so easily. Wasn't he known for being deeply suspicious? How did someone like that survive? Maybe I should just take the baby and run. Hao Minjai suddenly clenched his jaw. I don't trust just anyone. I only trust you. Hao Minjai told me he'd been on guard for a long time, always wary of the concubines. And recently, because of me, even the Empress Dowager. Only after he repeatedly assured me he wouldn't die prematurely did I feel safe enough to stay in the palace and rest. During this time, both the Prince of Wu's residence and the Chancellor's mansion remained quiet. Until the day I was about to give birth, palace attendants suddenly rushed in with news. Your Majesty, it's terrible, Chancellor Gu has rebelled. The ministers petitioned the emperor to first take consort Hao's head as a sacrificial offering. Hearing the sounds of close combat outside, I suddenly felt a sharp pain in my abdomen. My water had broken. Where is the emperor? The palace attendant, terrified out of his wits, stammered. His Majesty is attending court in the front hall. He declared the Chancellor's residence is the residence, and the lady is the lady. The residents never treated the lady as their daughter. So now the lady has no connection to the residence. The lady is about to give birth. You'll go fetch him. Just as the attendant dashed into the courtyard, a sharp arrow whistled through the air, piercing his back. The young palace maids inside the room shrieked in horror. I forced myself to shout, quiet, go to the inner room, deliver the baby first. Fortunately, I possessed a natural gift for childbirth, and the delivery proceeded smoothly. It was a boy. The door burst open. Gu Wanning stood there, cradling an infant, her cold smile fixed on me. Sister, you didn't expect this, did you? Father rebelled, rescuing me and the Prince of Wu. The prince has already gone to see the Empress Dowager. What if I swap this deformed monster in my arms for your child? Do you think the emperor would notice? All the palace maids who served me were slaughtered by Gu Wanning. My son was carried away by Gu Wanning to a side chamber. A monstrous, hair-covered infant was placed beside me. Gu Wanning's eyes burned with hatred. Why did you bear Prince Wu a healthy, plump son in your past life? Why, after consuming countless secret potions this past year, did I only give birth to this inhuman, monstrous abomination? Yes, this freak is Prince Wu and my child, but now, he is yours. Your monstrous offspring with the emperor is an ill omen. You must abdicate. Prince Wu and I will raise your child well. From now on, he will only call me mother. Hey hey. I sighed, gazing at the long-haired infant beside me, its breath faint. The king of Wu was born with a frail constitution. Unless he found a woman with a naturally fertile constitution, he could never father a healthy child. Moreover, Gu Wanning, desperate for an heir, had consumed too many secret potions, harming the fetus within her womb. Xiao Minjai arrived sooner than I had anticipated. Gu Wanning gagged me and bound me to the bed. The deformed monstrosity beside me wailed. Seeing Hao Minjai, Gu Wanning sneered, "Behold the woman you so lavishly favor. She's given birth to a freak. This is heaven's punishment upon you." Paralyzed with panic, I couldn't move. Terrified Hao Minjai would kill the child in rage and then stab me. I screamed silently, "This isn't our son, our child is in the side chamber. This is the monstrosity Gu Wanning bore with the Prince of Wu." Xiao Minjai glanced at the deformed infant, sighed, and shook his head. How, you have disappointed me greatly." Gu Wanning's face lit up. "Your Majesty, my father's armies are already at the imperial gates. You cannot touch me, just kill this whore before me, and I'll beg my father to spare your life. After all, your beauty is exceptional. I've longed for you through 2 lifetimes. I must finally taste your essence." Before Gu Wanning could finish her words, Xiao Minjai's sword pierced her heart. His entire entourage was swiftly dispatched by the guards. He strode to my side, his tone tinged with reproach. "Xiaozhao, you've truly disappointed me. How could it be a son? I'd hoped for a daughter first." The cloth gag was removed from my mouth. My first glance was toward the child, and I demanded, "How do you know that infant isn't ours?" Hao Minjai chuckled smugly, "A child between you and me would never be so hideous." Gazing at Gu Wanning's lifeless body on the floor, I frowned. "Minister Gu plotted rebellion. By killing his daughter, we've lost our hostage." He replied calmly, "Did you think I idled while you were pregnant? I long ago sensed Minister Gu's disloyalty. Summoning his daughter to the palace was merely baiting the snake out of its hole. Little did I know you and he were not of the same mind. Now, your useless father has also been captured by me." Unease gripped my heart. I sensed he knew far more than I realized. No sooner had he spoken than secret guards reported, the Empress Dowager, accompanied by the 5th prince, was heading to the main hall to proclaim him emperor. After drinking the ginseng broth, my strength gradually returned. By the time we reached the hall, the 5th prince already wore the imperial robe. Seeing us, the Empress Dowager roared angrily, "Heaven's wrath has fallen. How dare she claim the imperial throne? My Chenor is the one destined by heaven." I ordered palace attendants to bring forth my infant son and present him to the court officials. "This is my crown prince. Prince Wu, dare you undergo a blood test with this infant?" Prince Wu's face drained of color. His voice harsh yet trembling as he snarled, "I am already the supreme ruler. Who dares take my blood?" I thought to myself, he wears the dragon robe yet lacks even a shred of the heir's bearing. Far inferior to my child's father's majesty. Xiao Minjai curled his lips, gazing coldly at the Empress Dowager and said, "Mother, though both your sons, you treated me far worse than the 5th prince. You even poisoned my food to help him ascend the throne. Why?" The Empress Dowager forced herself to remain calm, her words icy, "Because you were unworthy. You are a tyrant. My Chenor was merely frail in health, yet he never earned your father's favor. But in every other way, Chenor surpassed you. If you still possess any sense of filial piety, you will abdicate the throne to Chenor. Otherwise, even in the afterlife, I will accuse you of being unfilial." This Empress Dowager's favoritism knows no bounds. Just because her younger son is frail, she'll show him boundless partiality. "Hao Minjai, I support you tearing that trash mom apart." Hao Minjai appeared unmoved by the Empress Dowager's words and continued, "Ever since you tried to abort Hao's child last time, I realized you never truly favored Prince Wu. You hate my bloodline, hate the late emperor. I tracked down several elders you silenced who somehow survived. That's how I learned Prince Wu isn't father's son at all. He's your bastard child with some other woman." As several palace elders were brought forward, the Empress Dowager collapsed to the floor. her face twisted with bitter resentment. Why? You should have died like your father, the late emperor. Why did you insist on living? Hao Minjai sneered coldly, pulling me and our son closer, because I have family now. The Empress Dowager and the Prince of Wu were imprisoned. The Prince of Wu was executed by being torn apart by 5 horses. Upon hearing this, the Empress Dowager died of a broken heart. During my second pregnancy, Hao Minjai dismissed the entire harem. Only the Empress can bear children now. Those ministers who pressured me to share my favor won't dare say much. Empress, this time you must give me a princess. I smiled faintly. Having a princess is easy enough. But if she craves grilled skewers from outside the palace, only her father can personally fetch them. Hao Minjai obediently rose to leave. Before he was far away, I silently murmured in my mind, the skewers should have extra chili, and the jewelry on my head is getting old. I heard the treasure pavilion has new gold hairpins. It'd be perfect if he could bring some back too, and the peach blossom drink from Drunken Fragrance Pavilion, I'd love to try it after giving birth. Hao Minjai called back from the courtyard, got it, all noted. Truth be told, I wasn't oblivious. I'd long sensed that Hao Minjai could hear my thoughts, so else could he always anticipate my every wish. But I chose not to expose the secret. After all, having a mind-reading husband added a delightful twist to married life. Later, blessed with fertility, I bore Hao Minjai 4 sons and 3 daughters. He governed with diligence and dedication, transforming the nation into one of prosperity and strength. When the crown prince came of age and assumed the throne, Hao Minjai and I traveled together to visit various countries. People often observed that even when I remained silent, Hao Minjai would thoughtfully approach to fulfill my needs. Everyone praised, look how considerate the retired emperor is toward the Empress Dowager. The story concludes. Thank you for subscribing to this channel.